Okay, what we're going to do today is take my Tiger Eye flowering maple. It's called an abutilon. My daughter got this for me for Mother's Day. Now, this flowering maple is shortly to make more blooms, but right now, I'm not going to concern myself too much about her because she's doing well. My Thanksgiving cactus, booming. They look really well, and so does a little cutting. But meanwhile, this is another plant. It is, I think, a peach abutilon, but it had very long trailing branches that all just splayed out in every direction, and I made the decision to go ahead and cut them off and root them. Now you can see that the branches are already trying to sprout. They were doing that in advance. There were a couple little spots where it looked like tiny leaves were developing, and I thought more would develop down the branches. But, oh, I've got a light that shines on it on a timer because I do have it here in the corner across the room. But it looks good. And what we're doing is rooting those, I think it was 4 branches. Now this is my bowl that I've decided to plant in. I decided on clear glass because I want to see roots developing. I want to be able to visualize how much water is in there. These are a type of plant that doesn't like to dry out, but it doesn't like to stay waterlogged and moist, just barely damp. So it's kind of a hard one to judge. Most of the time, I am hoping that I'm not overwatering. Ignore all these, getting a new cooktop in. Maybe eventually. Now here are the holes. I don't know if you can see those. I've got one here, and one here. There's a 4th, I'll poke that in. I poked it with this. It's about maybe, I don't know, that's probably 5 inches long, 4 inches long. If it needs to be any deeper, I don't really have that much room. I'll just snip off the ends. But here are my cuttings. They have been in these little systems set up here, and you can see how they are shocked by what I've done. The little edges are turning brown. However, they do seem as if they're trying to root. The little branch ends are trying to grow out. And I do see some very fine little strings coming out. I don't know if you can see any of these very clearly, but there's some semblance of things trying to grow. So we're going to push this one under the soil. I do think I've got 4 because there's 2 in that, 1 there, and 1 there. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this in now. Here we go. I think I will try the most healthy branch, and I consider this one to look the best. That's the one with 2 in it. And I think I'm going to reserve one of those holes for it. Now, based on the size of this, I may have to trim the bottom, and I will do that and sacrifice some of those nodes that might ordinarily sprout, just so that I can get them to go all the way down. So I think we're going to take you and you, and then I will put her down into this hole. Look at that. Just going to shove it down in there and give it a little squish. And there we are. Do or die. And then I'll do the same with this one. She's got a tiny leaf growing there. And I think I will cut her off right there. And then, let me find that other hole. There it is. Poke right down in there and squish, squish. There. And then there's one more, I think. Where is it? Right there. Okay. And that's going to be this one. Now he has a more strong woody twig. I'm going to cut him just below here and pray for the best. Now I've done these both in water and in soil, and I had the best luck a few years ago with the one that was stuck in soil. So that's why I tried this hybrid method. I'm trying the water and the soil method. So now I've got actually 4 pieces in there to grow, and we'll see what can happen. Sorry, that's the table centerpiece there for this little tiny table. But there it goes. Hopefully this is going to be a success. I thought my flowering maple in its little glass fishbowl looked a little peaked after a day or two. So I decided to put it in a Ziploc bag. Hefty, whatever those things are called. Anyway, I have put it completely down inside. These are the jumbo or 2-gallon size, 2.5 gallon. And I've got it completely zipped up. And I'll just every now and then maybe open it up to refresh the air and everything. But I think it might help them to hold some of the water and give it even a more moist and humid environment so they will root. Nothing else I can do but just trust that this is going to work for me. I'll have 4 new plants if it does. But I'll update you in a later video to show you just how this turned out.